You rarely remember when a tournament goes well. It's just kind of what they're supposed to do. The competitors show up, a winner is crowned, and everyone goes home. Lovely stuff. When they go badly though, you never forget. They basically stay seared into our collective memories and become the stuff of legend. These are the top 10 tournament mishaps. Starting us off at number 10, we have Azubu Frost cheating at Worlds 2012. Season 2 Worlds saw TSM face off against South Korea's Azubu Frost in the quarterfinals. Now, on the surface, it looked like business as usual for Azubu Frost as they comfortably 2-0'd North America's first seed.
Trying to stop that path to the championship, and Azubu Frost will knock out Team Solo Mid.
5 days later though, Riot dropped a bombshell.
From the League of Legends forums, Riot Vice President of Esports Dustin Beck outlined that Korean team Azubu Frost has been found guilty of unsportsmanlike conduct.
Riot's investigation concluded that during Game 1, Azubu Frost AD carry Woong looked at the large venue monitor that showed the location of all players in the game, which, incidentally, was literally right behind him during play. TSM's mid laner and owner Reginald released a statement clarifying the accusations.
We looked straight to Azubu Frost, and Chaos notices their players looking at our map, looking at the mini-map, and they start talking.
This was followed by a ping on the mini-map right where TSM were moving into position for an invade.
There's also proof in the replay that there's been pings at dark areas where we're standing, where they have no vision of.
And Shy's shock blast into the brush was enough to confirm Riot's suspicions. Although Riot slapped the team with a fine, they felt Woong's screen watching didn't explicitly help Azubu Frost win the game, and so the result was unchanged. That's gotta hurt for TSM. The enemy team literally cheats, and Riot still says they would have lost anyway. Moving on to number 9 now, we have Chiken the Lobby Raider at ESL 1 Katowice 2015. Everybody who's played or watched a little CSGO is familiar with the game's population of lovable, killable chickens. But for this entry, we're looking at the slightly differently spelled Chiken, the notorious lobby raider that became famous for busting into the games of big streamers.
Invite him. Chicken, get the f*** out!
It went from community meme to tournament trolling during ESL 1 Katowice 2015 when the enigmatic Chicken popped up in the Envious vs Ninjas in Pajamas semi-final lobby. Now, despite imploring that he was a friendly chicken, the silver-ranked poultry prankster kept getting repeatedly kicked.
And we're just going to wait for Envious's choice for the side on Dust 2.
Chicken in the lobby here. Really wants to play. He has a good rank as well. You can see that he has the level to play in this semi-final, you know?
The Chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken became a minor celebrity, even doing a Reddit AMA at one point. Although he hasn't popped up for a few years now, the legendary lobby raider has definitely secured his place in Counter-Strike history. Coming in at number 8 now, we have Valkyrie's invincible Fortnite win.
Bro, she wasn't...
Let's go, Ray!
She wasn't even dying.
Damage!
Hey, screenshot! Get the clip! Get the clip!
The former 100 Thieves streamer was taking part in Fortnite's 2019 Twitch Rivals when she realized that somehow she was immune to the storm damage outside of the final circle.
I'm bogged out. I'm hacking. What do I do? I'm not taking storm damage.
Now, you don't need to play Fortnite to realize what an insane game-breaking advantage this really is. After a little bit of dancing in the rain, Valkyrie swooped into the tiny circle to take the win.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. It doesn't even matter. I'm so sorry.
She tweeted out that it was unintentional hacking and promptly disqualified herself. Godly invincibility to the storm and honesty? A great combination to have. Coming in at number 7, we're taking you back to the PGL Major Krakow 2017 and the infamous CSGO crouch jump bug.
Just jumping up with the flashbang as well. Wants to spot one player, flash down, and allow Tabsin to potentially get 2 or 3 kills in that spot.
Essentially, players discovered that if they jumped while behind certain pieces of map cover and crouched, they could peek enemies but were not seen at all by those that they saw.
But
It's not from the realm of possibility that we get 2 or 3 challenging teams in, especially with G2 as a challenging team. Cloud9, now they played in Cologne, taps in how he's playing right now for Big as he goes aggressive.
This actually resulted in all 16 teams at the tournament shaking on a gentleman's agreement to not use the crouch jump. The bug was fixed a few weeks later so that the wall peeker can always be peeked back. Now, I hate getting disconnected from a game, but for a lot of us, it's just something we have to put up with. If there's one place you don't expect internet problems though, it's at Worlds. That's exactly what happened to CLG EU and World Elite though, as they faced off during the Season 2 Worlds quarterfinals. That's right, they got disconnected from the server during Worlds.
Even in the last game especially, 20% health, 30% health near the end of those, if they hadn't built...
One eternity later.
Let's get things underway. So if you've just joined us, it has been a very long break between.
As the broadcast team scrambled to cover for the technical difficulties, Riot decided to remake the whole game, despite the fact that 12 minutes and 2 kills had come to pass. The next game went without a hitch, but it wasn't to last. Game 3 saw a 59-minute slugfest that looked like it was just about to reach its conclusion before the internet clapped out once again.
Ward to try and back up away. Clearlove's going to dive in. They are going to go for this fight. Clearlove getting it.
So, after almost an hour of gameplay that meant nothing, Riot decided to remake once again with the exact same picks and bans. Third time's the charm, right? Eventually, it was decided that the elusive third game would be rescheduled for 5 days later at the same venue that was to be used for the semi-finals and finals.
They had those 3 hard-earned days, and it was definitely a hard-earned game for CLG.
For our number 5 entry, we're taking you to the Warcraft 3 Open at DreamHack Anaheim 2020. Now, just like our last entry, it was plagued with disconnection problems, but the most crushing example has to be the quarterfinals between Moon and Thorzane. Thorzane clawed himself into an upset position. He smelt blood. The crowd was ready to go, but the connection was not.
A disconnect. I'm gonna assume Thorzane dropped, but I feel like Moon was on the way to holding this attack. Ooh, wow.
As per the rules, they restarted the game. Soon enough, Thorzane found himself with over a 1,000 gold advantage and looking to close it out once again.
Once this... And looks like another drop just happened.
By the third attempt to play the final game of this series, Moon seemed to have learned from his past mistakes and took down the unfortunate Thorzane in what will be remembered as an absolute disaster of a series. Moving on to number 4, we have Wild Turtle's Heatwave Disaster. The COVID-19 pandemic forced the LCS Summer Split 2020 to be played out online, and for the most part, things had gone without a hitch. That was until Game 2 of the finals between TSM and FlyQuest. During the second game, FlyQuest's Wild Turtle was killed in a turret dive and appeared to rage quit the game as a result.
And you just saw for a second there the Wild Turtle's disconnected message down there. That was the time when there was the pause for the believed bug that didn't exist, and during that was the disconnect, so...
Fortunately, the disconnect wasn't a rage quit. Unfortunately, it was because Wild Turtle had lost power in his apartment building due to the heatwave outages that had been hitting the LA area at the time.
We're waiting from an update from DWP, but they told us last night there were about 70,000 customers without power, and SoCal Edison had about 24,000 customers in the dark in LA and Orange counties.
In an unprecedented move, Wild Turtle had to travel to FlyQuest training facility in order to continue the series. It was Turtle versus the LA traffic. Moving on to number 3, we've got the side switch controversy that was Sonic Fox versus Goichi at the EVO 2018 Grand Finals.
There is
One thing about EVO is that you see the celebration, but there's also always the heartbreak.
In 2018, Sonic Fox and Goichi faced off in the grand finals at EVO 2018 in what was set to be another thrilling installment of their legendary rivalry in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Goichi handily won the first match 3-0, and it looked like he was about to carry that momentum straight into the next match and win the tournament. That was until Sonic Fox requested a side switch to the player 1 side of the stage.
Uh-oh. He's like, what's happening here is...
Yeah, the question Sonic Fox is apparently asking is if there can be a side switch in between the sets. He wants player 1 now. But the rules say, nah, son, you gotta stay right there.
While this was actually allowed by the rules, it took 5 minutes to translate this request to Goichi. By the time the swap had happened, the momentum from his recent sweep had all but dissipated. Sonic Fox had, in effect, iced their opponent.
I don't know, it might be a stretch, but Sonic Fox maybe did that just to cool the man off.
Sonic Fox took the next set 3-0, becoming the world's best Dragon Ball FighterZ player. So, was the stall an unfortunate coincidence or a clever tactic? The world may never know.
And Sonic Fox is your Dragon Ball FighterZ Evolution 2018 champion!
Grappling into the number 2 spot, we have the notorious, the fabled, the disreputable Fountain Hook.
You need to get them to remove that from the game. That was the biggest joke I've ever seen.
The Fountain Hook was a Dota 2 exploit that rocketed to fame during the International 2013. Natus Vincere had their backs against the wall in the final game of the winners finals versus Tong Fu. It was going to require something incredibly special and a little bit insane to turn the tide. And they got it, in the form of the Fountain Hook.
Still hasn't even been used. There's a hook! How? Brought all the way back to the base! Cleaned up by the Fountain!
The series then devolved into a game of dodge the meat hook as Natus Vincere slowly clawed and hooked their way back into the game.
He got him! One more! This is what you call one for the road!
The unintended mechanic divided opinion. While there were those that called for a bug fix, others passionately defended its place in the game.
Let them try this thing. They can do it, go on, try this thing.
You have to respect the skill that it took for those fountain hooks to happen. If it was completely broken and super easy to do, everyone would be doing it.
A few months later though, Valve responded to calls that the fountain hook was a glitch and made it so that the meat hook would only drag enemies to where Pudge cast the ability. And finally at number 1, we have the Bayonetta blunder that was the Smash 4 Grand Finals from EVO 2018. The Grand Finals saw Bayonetta main Captain Zack face off against Bayonetta main Lima. For most people, this obnoxious mirror match was bearable until this happened.
Bro, what is going on? What is this?
I don't know, I was stalling for time.
All right, man. Well, I really understand why this is the last Evo. Last Evo was Smash 4. I mean, now you really get it.
Both players held B, charging Bayonetta's bullets and just having a friendly chat with each other for just under 2 whole minutes. It was not the fight fans had turned up to see. They even had time for a mid-game interview.
Oh, they're actually doing an interview. Is this real? I can't tell this. Wow. I feel like this is actual match, and we're doing an interview right now.
Sure what's going on right here.
It actually took officials waving the rulebook's line about game stalling in their face for the pair to finally play it out.
Oh, dang! Dang! Yo, Bear came up there with the rules.
Wow,
yo,
that's
look,
OD.
in the rules it says you are not allowed to stall the match.
For many fans, this Bayonetta spectacle really tainted the memory of Smash 4's final EVO appearance.
And wrong, and I do mean wrong, left, a champion is crowned at EVO 2018.
Alright guys, that is all I have for you today, but I do want to know which one of those was your favourite. Now for me, personally, it has to be the disconnect ones. There is something so unbearable about watching players and teams have to remake game after game. I can't stand it. Hopefully improving technology will mean that's a thing of the past, but who knows? There's always going to be a problem at some tournament somewhere. That's just the way it goes. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss any of our videos, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring that notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages.